this way, facing me. Hey, what's going on, folks? It's me, Matt Santos, using a mask. Davey neglected to bring his mask, but I trust him. He's a brown belt. He's probably got a brown belt level immune system. He should be safe. But as usual, you should use your protective mask after we're done wrestling. I'll definitely be Pureling my whole face and beard and hands, and he'll do the same. Today we're going to work on using the guard to retreat instead of just standing and fighting. Like the problem that a lot of people have, especially when you're a little bit higher ranked, you have your attacks that you like, and you have your ways that you can move people around and things like that. But sometimes you're going to have a situation where you're fighting uphill, fighting somebody heavier than you, stronger than you, or better than you, right? And you're not just going to be able to move them around at will. You're going to have to get them to move for you. You have to try and elongate parts of their body or make them, crumple up and be very, very tight and compact so they can't move. It's only two things you can be in jiu-jitsu. Two bad things you can be. You can be compact in a ball, and then you're a stable piece of equipment for me to climb and move around, or you can be stretched out, and then you're very typical, right? So when I'm playing bottom guard, and say I'm playing somebody stronger than me, or heavier than me, or somebody who's just better than me, then they are getting through all my defenses on the guard, my bottom guard, all my attacks, my sweeps, and things like that, and they manage to make their way past my legs, right? It's a normal occurrence. I'm sure it's happened to most of you all at one point or another. When that happens, I don't just crumble and forget that I know anything about jiu-jitsu. I start formulating a different type of plan, right? So Davey and I are going to do this right now. So as Davey's passing, I'm going to try and back up and try and give myself room, and that room will give me time to fight back. All right, are we in the camera?
I am.
Well, we will when we start passing.
I think we're going to tip that whole thing down.
Go do it, since you broke it. Davey broke the tripod. So
I was practicing today's lesson of retreating and making space.
there you go.
Thank you.
As always, shout out to Richie and Joanna Vespia for painting that mural. This is also one half of the mastermind duo of the new gym design, for those of you who don't know Davey. So make sure you give him props. So let's say Davey starts passing my guard one way or the other, I don't care. He passes, right? If I want to stand and fight and maybe use a knee shield or whatever, Davey's going to beat it eventually. He's going to start beating me and getting me on my back. So my goal isn't to necessarily stand and fight here. It's to delay and prolong the match, prolong the pass, make the pass take longer, and give myself room to fight. So go back to start your pass. So we're doing whatever, I'm grabbing here, he's making a pass. So I start moving. I start elongating the match. Right? Can everybody see what happened there? Let's go this way. Back up. So as the pass is happening, I'm moving away with my free leg, with my left leg here. I'm just moving and stretching the match this way. And that's the first thing you really need to get used to doing before you can even worry about winning this battle. So as he's passing, I just keep moving. I try and free my hand. Yeah, I got my hand free. Now I'm ready to go on the offensive. So let's go over here some more now. So we've gotten to the point where, and as you're learning this skill, practice just escaping by retreating. Not even escaping, because you're prolonging the pass. Just make the pass take longer by backing up, moving your head north, and just keep moving away, moving away, moving away. Eventually they'll pass, but you need to get that skill under control. You need to learn that behavior. And like Davey said when we were talking about this earlier, when he was a lower rank, he used to do this all the time. I think what'd you say? You were a blue belt when you figured this? That this is the worth of this technique. And what happens is as you get better, you stop having to do this as much, right? Now I'm getting older. I'm not as quick and spry, but I don't have that many students that have that much power and strength over me, but I do have students that are heavier than me. I don't have to do it as much, but I still make myself do it because it's a perishable skill. When you get to the point, like Davey's at the point where he doesn't really have to do it too often, so he forgot to do it. And that's the trick. You need to keep this training up. So I escape, I move, and he gets by. So now, during the process of my escape, I get this hand free. He no longer controls my wrist. I've got a 1-to-1. Let's slide this way. There we go. I've got a 1-to-1, and now I can start getting up. Right, I can get up to my elbow. I'm playing into that, like, I'm halfway to that seated butterfly, that single hook butterfly game, and Davey doesn't even realize it. And we're gonna work from this starting position here, right? So, first things first, it's gonna be problematic. I'm trying to move. Davey starts gripping my leg. My hand is gonna release. I'm gonna bring my arm around right across his neck. Okay? My left leg is gonna extend, and I'm gonna point my toes at Davey's body. I'm gonna pull my knee to my chest, and use that same forearm and that arm drag with the leg. Sorry, I should have warned you what I was gonna do. So again, my hand's here, my leg stretches. I pull it, yeah. Davey's gotta abandon that grip, move away, his weight's all over his hand. I just start getting up right away. I'm in a great position to fight from here. I can start hitting loop chokes and things like that, depending on my hand went into the collar. I can just start wrestling away and turning it into a grappling match. Maybe I end up on my back, I don't know, some nightmare. But I'll assume that I'm a better wrestler at this instance, so I'll counterattack there. So let's show the technique from this side. So remember, I've gotten my bottom arm free, my top arm's on his sleeve, right? I've been moving this way, but now I'm ready to fight. My hand comes around, I put my hand between his neck and my hip. My leg strengthens, elongates, and I push and shove away. That leg drag is very, very tight because he's got the underhook on my leg. It creates this type of bind, like a key lock type bind. Turn sideways so you can see. It creates this as I strengthen and elongate his arm. So he's got to roll his thumb over and shake his body away. His head gets real heavy over that hand. It makes him very stationary. That compactness, right? That's that strength, that smallness. When he's strong and heavy like that, it's hard for me to move him, but it's easy for me to move around him. Let's show it with your butt this way. So same deal, he's got that underhook. I've got my hand, I can start getting up. Right here, my hand comes around. As I'm elongating my leg, I pull my knee to my chest. His arm rolls over. Look, if he doesn't go far, I can always just sit up and start playing a wrestling match from here. I can start going into twister games, or I can start fighting through him. Sorry about your ankle. I'm in a good position because I made him get real heavy and stretch his body away from me. All right?
I don't want to leave my arm there, though. I don't like it. I gotta get
No. It's a horrible, horrible position. You're getting key locked and then arm locked as you're trying to retreat your arm by rolling your thumb down. So it goes real hard here, and this is my leg making this key lock pressure. And luckily he's got the space to elongate his arm and start turning out. But it's a very hair-raising moment when you get that elbow locked, you know? All right, so that's one. Let's go back into it. So, same position, Davey's on my shin, I'm on my elbow. I want to keep moving, right? So what am I going to do? I start moving toward him. I'm not trying to run away anymore. I've got control of this arm. If I can get his arm close to my body, now I start climbing. And I'm just pulling into him. Right now, I have this position. Davey's got to do a lot of right things to stop me from turning him over right here. Even that, right? It felt like that was the right thing, right?
Yeah.
I've loaded my body weight. I've pulled myself under. I went from running from him. So I ran. Like, when I was a kid, in middle school, this girl, Kimberly H. She was a bigger girl. She used to bully me, I'll be honest. Not in the sense that I couldn't beat her in a fight, but I knew if I hit her, I'd get in trouble. But she would always like hit us or chase us. She'd flip out. We'd make her mad because we'd bust her chops a lot. And my move was I would run from her. She would chase me. As soon as she'd get close, I'd stop and drop down, and she'd go flying. She'd trip over me like a drop Cianagi, 100% like a drop Cianagi. I would smoke him. Oh, she would be so mad. I'd get in so much trouble with that. But I never had to hit her, and I would just trip her with my body. I'm doing the same thing here. Davey is channeling my middle school bully, and I'm moving, but now I'm not gonna move anymore. I'm done running. I'm not gonna take it anymore. I'm gonna like dive in. My hand here, my left hand's gonna go to his belt, and I'm gonna grip. And once I've gotten here, I pull myself underneath. And I've got him all day long. Davey chased me too much that he actually caught me. Right? He chased me. I let him catch me. I put myself deep underneath him. He's gonna fall way past me. Take that, Kim. So I'm here. I'm lifting up. I'm even here. I'm still trying to get away. And Davey's still gonna be following me. If you notice, his hand was outside his knee. I redirected inward. It's not a huge deal. It's not this one little trick that's gonna make the move happen, because I'm not even doing this as cleanly as I can. I like to show the bigger picture, right? The big picture is this. I get here, I pull myself in. I have most of Davey's arm blocked. If I want to make sure there's nothing he can do to stop me, I pin that arm under, I get close to his body, and then I let go of his wrist. I don't care though. I know that for the most part, as long as I have this arm and he can't reach out and post, and Davey's first thinking, right? Twice in a row you've gone after the cross face.
Yep.
You haven't gone for the post, right?
Nope.
And both times what happened?
I got dumped.
That post would have been handy.
Yep.
My armpit here is what stops the post from happening. Now when I pull myself underneath, yeah, there you go. You did a good job, Davey, but that good job cost you. If I remove his chance of posting, and the third time in a row, especially after I told him, Davey found out how to stop me. Just kidding. But the third time in a row, the first two times, he went for the same cross face, thinking it's gonna work. You can put my back. I'm fine, I'm still underneath you. And then all I have to do is elevate one leg where your hips are and flip you over. Because I've got control of your hips. I've got control of your shoulder. Davey abandoned the third time by going all the way out. Instead of trying to fight my core, he tried to get ahead of himself, which is the smart move. And he also had a little bit of foreknowledge. But this movement right here is very simple. It's a great way to sweep somebody too. Let's go over it now. So I've gotten to here, right? My chest is near. This is right by my hip. I'm fine with that. I grip his belt, the skirt of his gi, his pants, it doesn't matter. No gi, I just grab his hip. My other arm is gonna pull in close. Now, once I roll on my back, I don't roll backwards, I roll under him. I'm on my back, just a simple kick up. I'm in a good spot right here. This is one of my favorite ways to sweep. I like sweeping anybody head over heels anyway. Feels like you're really accomplishing something. But once I load my opponent on top of me, it's easy to flip them over head over heels. Right? You didn't feel me struggling and straining. I got your weight so far past me that me just bumping my hips a little bit is gonna get you to move. And it's that same pull under. I'm pulling myself underneath them. Come here again. So I'm here. And here's the thing. If Davey thinks he's gonna just play back on me, that's cool. I just get up and run him over. I'm stuffing that hip in his head, his hand in his hip. There's no like, oh, I'm not gonna play his game. You gotta play my game. I'm going to turn you over one way or the other, or you gotta stop me from turning you over, and then I'm gonna try and get into a wrestling position. So let's go.
Once we've gotten into that, I can't back up because you have my legs.
Yeah, that's true, but I can get here a bunch of different ways. I can get here when you're past my legs also. So Davey's talking about, he's shin to shin, he's kneeled over me. I've got control over him, right?
I was just coming back to retreat and change my pass.
Yeah, if he does that, then I'm just gonna switch to a switch. I'm gonna switch here to a switch, or I'm going to start looking to bring my knees back in. I'm gonna play similar style games. I don't really change my game much. But I was talking about, I've got his leg, even if he's past my leg, yeah, here, Even if he's already past my leg, watch, I just pull myself in. And I've got him. I've got the bulk of his weight on my chest. It's a very easy bridge over. Do you understand now?
Yep.
So, well, it's the same movement. So even if he starts passing, when I get here, I'm close into him. I'm covering his elbow, my chest is here blocking this area. I'm gonna grab his hip, I might grab his ankle. If it's no-gi, I might hold here, I might look to lock my hands together, but I'm going to move my shoulders this way towards him. I'm not pulling backwards. That's a recipe for loss. I move under. I can flip him over like a child. His weight's loaded on me. His balance is tipped over. I just push him the rest of the way over. You get it, Dave?
Yep.
All right, so he makes it past. He maybe even knocks me back onto my back, right? All's not lost. As long as I can have at least one arm on his forearm, I can fight back to a decent-ish position. So we'll go here. So he's got this pass. I've sat up. He knocks me down. I'm just going to use this hand. I'm going to steer. Go this way some. I'm going to steer this hand as close to his body as possible. Keep going. Finish movements. Yeah, he's got me. He's putting me on. He's trying to put me on my back. So I'm going to keep shrimping. Now I've got two hands on. And I know a lot of you are thinking this is where I go for the Kimura trap, right? If I go here for a Kimura, I'm going to get flattened out. I'm going to have all sorts of problems trying to win. It's not going to happen. It's going to make. I don't like to have difficulty in jiu-jitsu. I'm going to start pushing this arm deeper and deeper under him. Once I feel that his hand is past his belly button, I sit up. I do the same movement again. All I'm going to do, as I'm stripping away, is I'm forcing his head side hand deeper and deeper. Once I can get it across his belly button, just his belly button, never mind if I can get it to his forehip, that match is over. That part of the match is over. I'm going to bridge him and turn him over 10 times out of 10. I can't think of the last time I've gotten that far into the technique and had a failure. All right, and then that's not to say it doesn't happen. And it's not to say that I haven't defended it and I haven't had it defended against me. But it's such a strong technique, and I've gotten such a jump and a lead on him in this technique that it's a rarity that someone's going to be able to defend against it. All right, so let's do this a couple more times. Then we'll recap everything and call it an evening. Hope everybody's taking care of themselves. All right, so again. So he's passed. I've gotten up, but he's knocked me down. Yeah, so look, I'm going to keep moving. He's going to keep trying to finish. He's going to keep trying to finish. It's not that Davey's taking it easy on me. He is. He's not being a jerk. He's not trying to show me up. But the technique is that it's like Aikido. It's like when you see perfect Aikido, that's what this is. I've got his hand, his one posting position. The only thing I can save is balance. I've gotten that deep under his hips. And to even defend against that, he puts his hips on top of my hips. What am I going to do? All I do, when you put your weight on me, that makes us a team. Where I go, you go, and the same thing's vice versa. So when you clasp onto me and hold me chest to chest with you, we're going to go in the same position. It just depends on who gets to decide where we go. So when I've gotten his hand deep under his hips and he decides he's going to sprawl down on top of me, I'm still going to be able to easily bridge and then flip him over. He's giving me his weight to do what I want with it. All right? So let's go through the three things that we did. Number one, I'm here. I bring my hand back right inside next to his ear. My left leg elongates. I do that arm drag. Now I can push and get up. Start the match back however I want to. Right? Number two, he's got me now. I'm going to start moving towards him. 1, 2. I've got him. And flip him over. Oh, now I can do the Kimura trap. He's on his back. This is fine for me to attack a Kimura here. When he's on top of me, I probably wouldn't want to do that. I know I'd have a hard time finishing most people there. Well, not most people. Most people who could pass my guard, I'd have a hard time finishing the Kimura trap. Okay, last bit. Last bit. He's knocked me down. I just start moving away. 2 hands. I start moving away. I'm trying to shove his hand underneath him. Up and over. Again with the Kimura trap. And that's about that, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to all my students. I appreciate and love you guys for sticking by me. I've already got some ideas on how I'm going to pay you all back and how we're going to get this gym started going again. Because, you know, it's important that we get our training in. It's also important that we get our training in safely and healthfully. So when we get classes going again, it will also be with your health and safety in mind. Thank you all. Those of you who aren't my students, just people who know me or don't know me, I hope you learned something. Hope my way of teaching isn't too confusing for you. Yeah, I tend to think in bigger pictures. I try and move with your major muscle groups first, and then work our way to the minor muscle groups. Try and focus on, you know, the tenets of jiu-jitsu: balance, base, posture, and how to erode those things when you're playing off bottom, and how to improve those things when you're playing on top. So yeah, hopefully this stuff is helpful, and take care, folks. Take care of yourselves. Thank you, Davey.
Thanks.